Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, please subscribe. I'd really love that. If you're returning, how are you today? Once again, you guys with your articles, I'll tell you. You guys are nuts, but I love it. I love when you guys send me articles through email or text message or whatever. And not only is it informative, but entertaining and just awesome all the way around. I'll tell you, I have to say this. I have the best subscribers in the world. I do. I don't know what I would do without you guys. I really don't. You guys make me laugh on a daily basis. You really do. With your comments and your emails and your text messages and even your phone calls. You guys are awesome. I love every single one of you. I really do. But this article is pertaining to what we spoke about, I want to say about 3 weeks, maybe a month ago, about the shipping containers. You thought that fiasco was over? Oh, no, no, no. Shame, shame, know your name if you thought that fiasco was over. So, containers piled high on giant vessels, carrying everything from car tires to smartphones, are toppling over at an alarming rate, sending millions of dollars of cargo sinking to the bottom of the ocean. Oh my God. As pressure to speed deliveries raise the risk of safety errors. Yeah. The shipping industry is seeing the biggest spike in lost containers in 7 years. More than 3,000 boxes dropped into the sea last year, and more than 1,000 have fallen overboard so far in 2021. The accidents are disrupting supply chains for hundreds of U.S. retailers and manufacturers, such as Amazon and Tesla. Holy cow. There are a host of reasons for the sudden rise in accidents. Weather is getting more unpredictable while ships are growing bigger, allowing for containers to be stacked higher than ever before. Allowing for containers to be stacked, because, okay, did you ever play that game Tetris? And you could stack and stack and stack. But once you get a teeter, okay, you can only stack so high, right? But greatly exacerbating the situation is a surge in e-commerce after consumer demand exploded during the pandemic, which we all knew that was going to happen. I do it myself. Increasing the insurgency for shipping lines to deliver products as quickly as possible. The increased movement of containers means that these very large container ships are much closer to full capacity than in the past, said Clive Reed. And he's the founder of the Reed Marine Maritime Casualty Management Consultancy. He said there is commercial pressure on the ships to arrive on time and consequently make more voyages. Now, after gale force winds and large waves buffeted the 364-meter One Apus in November, causing the loss of more than 1,800 containers, footage showed thousands of steel boxes strewn like Lego pieces on board, some torn to metal shreds. Holy cow. The incident was the worst since 2013, when the MOL Comfort broke in two and sank when its entire cargo of 4,293 containers into the Indian Ocean. Holy cow. In January, the Maersk, Maersk, Essen, Essen, lost about 750 boxes while sailing from, I'm not even going to try it, Xiamen, China, to Los Angeles. A month later, 260 containers fell off the Maersk and dive. Okay, Maersk, second word, Eindhoven. Why the weird names? I don't know. When it lost power in heavy seas. The need for speed is creating precarious conditions that can quickly bring disaster, according to shipping experts. The dangers range from what the heck? Incorrectly locking boxes on top of one another to captains not deviating from a storm to save on fuel and time as they face pressures from charterers, they said. One wrong move can put cargoes and crew at risk. Well, you know what? I wouldn't race for anything. Slow and steady wins the race, wouldn't you think? That's what we always say in the prepping community. The chances for mishaps are increasing, and as exhausted seafarers face deteriorating conditions during the pandemic. Allianz Global Corporate and Specialty estimates that human error contributes to at least 3/4 of shipping industry accidents and fatalities. Almost all of the recent incidents have occurred in the Pacific Ocean, a region where the busiest traffic and the worst weather collide. The sea route connecting Asia's economies to consumers in North America was the most lucrative for shipping companies last year. China's exports have gone on a tear as the pandemic fuels demand for all the stuff people need to work, learn, and entertain from home. The journey has always been rough, but it's become more perilous due to changing weather patterns. The rise in traffic from China to the U.S. this past winter coincided with the strongest winds over the northern Pacific since 1948, increasing the likelihood of rougher seas and bigger waves, said Todd Crawford, chief meteorologist at the weather company. With 226 million container boxes shipped each year, the loss of 1,000 or more can seem like a drop in the ocean. Oh, geez, pun intended, I guess, huh? That's a very small percentage lost. But it's almost 60% of the monetary value of all container incidents. At an average of $50,000 per box, the one Apis was estimated to have lost $90 million in cargo alone. Wow. The highest in recent history, according to Jay Sharma, a partner in maritime law firm Clyde & Company in London. Losses so far this year have totaled an estimate $54.5 million. Wow. The issue is also gaining attention as last month's grounding of the 400-meter vessel, the Ever Given, in the Suez Canal threw a spotlight on the vulnerability of the shipping industry. The megaship blocked traffic through the vital waterway for nearly a week, and the impact on the global trade is still being felt. So far, none of the recent container accidents have been directly attributed to safety lapses. The International Maritime Organization said it is still awaiting results of investigations into the latest incidents and cautioned about making any conclusions before that. But many experts say the situation has grown more dangerous because of the pressure on the supply chains since the pandemic. When ships approach the heavy weather, captains have the option to either steer away from the danger, but the attitude is don't go around the storm, go through it. Wow, that's insane. When you combine that with potentially poor maintenance of twist locks and cabling required to secure these boxes, then it's an accident waiting to happen. Yeah, no kidding. With boxes stacked even higher, a ship can become more unstable in a storm. Wave after wave can cause the vessel to roll at steep angles, putting strain on the securing of the containers. The situation becomes even worse if the stack is top heavy. That can happen when there's incorrect weightings on the bills of lading for containers, which many in the industry says happens way too often. You cannot see the containers. Oh, you cannot see inside the containers. Sorry. So when the cargo is heavy and the officer in charge of planning cargo planning puts it up high during the rolling of the ship, we may not have control anymore. So why even stack it that high? That doesn't make sense. If you know, check the weather. If you see there's a storm, don't stack it that high. And make sure the straps are down tight. What the hell? Overworked crews also heighten the risk. Reduced manpower on board with an increased number of containers on deck make it increasingly difficult for crews to check every single bar and screw effectively. Overworked crews. Wow. There's also the health and safety of the seafarers at stake. The toppling of multiple tiers of 40-foot containers during a raging storm is one of the most terrifying experiences for a captain and crew. Post-traumatic stress disorder among crew members is common, according to Philip Eastle, founder of the Container Shipping Supporting Seafarers. Concern is growing for the industry to address this situation. Traffic on the seas is different from what it was 10 years ago. How do we adapt as an industry? It's convenient to blame the captain, but we need to look at how the port infrastructure needs to change and how ships transit. Yeah, exactly. Don't stack them up so high. Put more people on a crew. If your crew is exhausted, that means there's not enough. There's not enough people doing the job. That's number one. Number two, don't stack it up so freaking high. If people gotta wait 2 more days to get their order, then they're waiting 2 more freaking days. It's not gonna kill you. The IMO, which is the United Nations agency responsible for shipping regulations, says countries whose flags the ships are sailing under are responsible for issuing safety certificates for vessels, while ports that the vessels call at are responsible for ensuring rules on loading containers are followed. The agency said its subcommittee on the carrying of cargoes routinely looks at container issues and has scheduled its next meeting for September. AIG's Ranger says companies should be prepared to go around storms and maintain vessel properly. These vessels are designed to carry the boxes and to have these losses is, dare I say, unacceptable. Unacceptable. Well, if you lose one, you know what I mean? That's just, it is what it is. But yeah, they really do have to, look at these issues. But don't stack them up so high. Put more people on the crew. Reevaluate the priorities here. I'm no expert. I've never been on one of these boats. I've never worked like that, on a crew like that. But if you know that the crew is exhausted, if you know where the weaknesses are, make those weaknesses stronger. You know what I mean? Anyway, thank you for this article. I appreciate it. All right, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Stay safe, stay positive, keep prepping, and as always, fearless. Bye.